before we went to air.
But thank you again to the ladies of the big story, Deshawn, Regina, and Teresa. On the show tonight, we've got live updates from the Gilas Pilipinas game against Chinese Taipei in the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers, plus the result of the NBA's first game back from the All-Star break.
And we've got the latest from the PVL All-Filipino Conference as the Creamline Cool Smashers officially secure top seeding in the next round.
I'm Andre Felix. Welcome back, partner.
Thank you, and I'm Cheska Calao.
Here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy leaves, let it! Victor Moves puts it on. Unbelievable! Gemma on the left side. Oh, pass! Stuck in another one! Bacunas rejecting Esteban for the...
On the show tonight, let's tip things off with Gilas Pilipinas against Chinese Taipei in the third and final window of the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers. Let's take a look at live pictures of the game happening right now. It is the fourth quarter, and as we can see, the score, Taipei up by 5, 77-72, with 6 minutes remaining. And a big bucket there check from Justin Brownlee with a 3.
Yep.
And it cuts Taipei's lead now to just 77-75, under 6 to play. Of course, this is check a no-bearing game kasi pasok naman na tayo to the next stage. So, but still,
That's
you know,
not gonna stop our
exactly.
our guys.
But what a tough past few days for Gilas. Here's a long 3 from Taipei. Doesn't drop there, rebounded by Brownlee. We lost the last 2 games in the tourney that we joined, and there's a foul called here on Chris Newsome. We will wrap things up later on. Let's see if aabot towards the end of the show. But let's kick things back, just a refresher on what happened in the first half of this particular game. Gilas Pilipinas and Chinese Taipei. Let's take a look at some highlights here. In the first half, Brownlee went to work early, scoring 13 of Gilas Pilipinas' first 20 points in the game right away. But Taipei was able to keep up and took a 22-20 lead after 1. Gilas then looked more sluggish in the second as Chinese Taipei, led by Mohammad Gadiaga, established a 12-point lead midway through the period. But the Brownlee and Dwight Ramos hot shooting trimmed the lead back down to just 2 at the break, 47-45. Good defense as well. This man right here, St. Dwight and JB, were the only ones in double figures after 24 minutes for Gilas. Brownlee with a game-high 19, while Dwight Ramos already with 10 markers.
Gilas Pilipinas has been as busy as can be in the past few days, and their second day in Taiwan was no different. Ahead of the big game against Chinese Taipei, some national team coaches and staff talked about how the tight schedule will build the squad up for the tough battles ahead. Watch this.
Imagine in 2 days, 3 laro. Saka yung oras yun ang problema, yung oras, no? Yung jet lag, imagine, naglalaro sila sa Doha. That's 1 a.m., di ba? 1 a.m. in the morning, matatapos mga alas 4 ng madaling araw. Sa dugout nga, yung mga player, nagsha-shower before the game para lang magising. Tapos siyempre, bugbog yung katawan. It's a good training for them para sa preparation nito. Sabi ko nga, kung hindi papasok tayo sa FIBA Asia, siguro hindi natin gagawin yung sa Doha. But again, marami experience. Ang gusto namin, makatikin talaga sila ng hardship para pagdating sa laban, alam na nila kung ano yung hirap. Ito, test na to para kung sino talagang ang tatagal doon sa laban natin sa August, no? Part 2 ng training, itong dalawang larong to. Makikita natin, kasi sa ngayon, minsan magpapalit tayo ng lineup, kung 14 sila, 12, ganito. Hindi naman tryout, no? Pero makikita natin kung ano talaga yung magandang blend. Because everybody knows Kai is out. So, sino mga pwede natin ilagay? Parang puzzle, eh. Sino pwede natin ilagay para makatulong talaga dito sa dadating na FIBA Asia sa August?
Drive, not wide drive, or this drive, or waiting for a screen to come at you. Don't wait and call a screen up. Mason, go for the rebound. 15 seconds!
Nakikita nila na mahirap, di ba? Pero dito nabubuo ang chemistry. Dito nabubuo ang samahan. So maganda to para sa team. Matalo manalo, pinaghahanda naman natin dito yung World Cup. Yung makasama tayo sa Olympics. So, preparasyon to. At makikita mo naman from our Doha, kahit nung una pa, Doha, Taipei, going to New Zealand. Yung samahan, yung kantsawan, yung lokohan ay maganda yung pinapakita nilang chemistry sa isa't isa. Tama ka, one, yung schedules. Two, yung mga players. May naglalaro sa ibang liga, sa ESL, naglalaro sa PBA, naglalaro sa Gilas. Kita mo yung sakripisyo nila na ginagawa para sa bayan. Totoo yun. Corny man sabihin o ano, totoo. Para po to sa bayan, para sa ating lahat.
So, very tough yung experience, no? It was a really good experience in general, even if it was tough for the players, because we know, no? Coach Tim knows that this will benefit us in the long run, especially towards building up to the FIBA Asia Cup, which is going to happen in August, and also in an area, no? Middle Eastern area in Saudi, same time zone as Qatar. So that trip from the Philippines to Qatar and having to play right away, practice right away, we got a feel of that. And that's going to help us when we come back in August. This will definitely benefit us. Thankfully, no bearing yung games. The experience here, regardless of the result, will not hurt us.
You know, I'm just really happy to be here and to witness this journey with this team. And I really have high hopes for this team and really gain a lot of progress for the program also. No? I think we're seeing that. We want to continue that. We are not satisfied in that, of course. The bigger prize is still way ahead of us. Future pa yan, no? So we're still working for that. So, but happy where we are now. I'm seeing the progress. But I'm really just happy to be a witness to this journey.
Come in, get some shots in, really get a feel for the gym, fellas, all right? Let that be an edge for us. Jumar, here we go. Laban Pilipinas!
Good luck to Gilas, Pilipinas. As you saw the schedule of Gilas, they're actually playing Chinese Taipei right now. Let's move on now to the NBA. We'll give you more updates on Gilas later on the show. Well, in the NBA, this one stings for the LA Lakers, pun intended, as the Charlotte Hornets come away with a stunning win in La La Land. The Hornets turned an 11-point halftime deficit into a 3-point victory, 100-97. Clutch play here. Miles Bridges stopped scoring with 29 points, while LaMelo Ball added 27 markers. Hornets big man Mark Williams, who strayed to the Lakers, got rescinded, chipped in 10 points and 9 rebounds. LaMelo also delivered this dagger. Oh, it wasn't a dagger, but that was a key play as well, as he nailed a high looping layup to put the Hornets up by 4. That was a dagger, but there was also a crucial play. We'll see the highlights later on, where LaMelo drove to the basket and dished it out down low to Mark Williams. And LeBron James answered back, though, with a long bomb, but Ball had the final say. Here it is with a pair of cold-blooded free throws. LBJ had 2 chances to tie the game with 6 seconds to go, but missed both. three-point attempts. LeBron finished with 26 points in a losing cause. Luka Doncic also struggled to make field goals in this one, finishing with just 14 points on 5 out of 18 shooting. But he did have 11 boards and 8 assists. The Lakers dropped to 5th now in the West with 32 wins and 21 losses. The Hornets, on the other hand, are 14th in the East with 14 victories against 39 defeats. After the game, Charlotte head coach Charles Lee broke down their gritty win and Ball's heroics.
The grit of the team, the resilience, also just the discipline throughout a whole 48 minutes, 4 quarters, to understand what we were willing to live with from the Lakers, knowing we wanted to take away the paint, wanted to defend without fouling and try to make them a jump shooting team with great contests and great shift activity around it. I think our guys did that, showing a lot of different looks. And whenever those guys, they're a really good team. They're really balanced. They got some great primary ball handlers and some playmakers. And I think that our guys, whenever they went on a run, did a phenomenal job of responding and really just gathering their composure, talking in timeouts of what they're seeing on both ends of the floor, and then taking it to the floor and quickly applying it. So just really proud of the group for being as resilient as they were. Yeah, just did a great job of playing at a pace that I think that we wanted at the end of the game, understanding who we wanted to attack, getting our spacing in a better place. And then the part that just shows his leadership and I think his growth is trusting the pass. There are some opportunities there where he could try to dribble through a double team or make a play himself, but I think that he ran whatever play we wanted to run, whatever action, and whatever the game kind of gave him, he made the right play. And so, super proud of him for continuing to make the plays for himself, but also for his teammates and continue to trust them.
Forward Javonte Green is on the move as he agrees to a contract buyout with the New Orleans Pelicans. Reports say that the 31-year-old Cager intends to sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers after clearing waivers. Getting Green will add wing depth to the East leading Cavs, who also acquired DeAndre Hunter from the Hawks before the trade deadline. He will also be another defensive option for Cleveland when it's up against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics. Green joined the Pels as a free agent in August of last year. He averaged 5.8 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 1.1 steals. The Cavaliers will be Javonte's 4th team in his 6th-year NBA career. After the break, the Creamline Cool Smashers lock up the first seed heading into the qualifying round of the PVL All-Filipino Conference. That story and more when Play-by-Play returns.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. It is official. The Creamline Cool Smashers will head into the qualifying round of the PVL All-Filipino Conference as the top seed. That's after the Cool Smashers made short work of the Galleries Tower High Risers to close out their campaign in the preliminaries. After taking the first set in convincing fashion, the Cool Smashers had to pull off a comeback in the second, clawing back from a 15-22 deficit with an 11-2 run. The Cool Smashers wasted no time in the third, racing to a 5-0 start, and they never looked back to complete the sweep. Final score here, 25-15, 26-24, and 25-19, as Creamline bounces back big time from their 5-set heartbreak against PLDT. Tots Carlos leading the way in scoring with 18 points, while Eliza Valdez delivered 16 markers, 7 digs, and 7 receptions. The Cool Smashers close out the prelims with a 10-1 win-loss record, while the High Risers are the complete opposite at 1-10. After the match, Valdez spoke about the team's first loss to the conference, serving as a wake-up call for the defending champs.
Personally, my motivation was our practices. During our training kasi head-to-head din talaga yung mga counter-attacks namin. So I think we were able to actually implement everything na pinractice namin to the game today. So yun ang motivation namin kasi kung gaano kahirap yung practice, sana madala namin yung napag-aralan namin dito sa game. So luckily, fortunately, we finished that long second set. Honestly, I think we've been through different losses din naman throughout conferences, but that was actually something na masasabi namin na at the end of the day, wake-up call talaga. But we were humbled by that loss at the end of the day. So we worked harder the next day and make sure na gagawin namin yung trabaho namin ng roles namin. So even if with that loss, siguro we would say na we have so many things to improve on pa as a team. So it was a good loss for us, if that makes sense. Well, we'll take it one game at a time, but definitely, I think one of the skills na improve ng halos lahat would be the system and the blocking. So I guess we're gonna work on our counter attacks pa rin. And basics, disiplina, most definitely sa sistema namin. So may mga sistema kami na kailangan pa rin namin ma-perfect. And basic, most definitely, pag free ball, pag mga mahihinang bola, at the end of the day, kailangan pa rin namin siyang kahit pa paano ma-perfect din. So yun yung mga minor details, but will help us in the end of the game, and yun yung magmamatter, lalo na pagbibitan. So we'll work on that counter-attacks and the basic balls.
Meantime, make it 9 in a row for the Petrogas Angels in the PVL All-Filipino Conference. The Angels also beat the next-led Chameleons in straight sets 25-19, 25-14, and 25-17. Petrogas was dominant from start to finish and quickly separated from next-led in the third set as Myla Pablo sealed the win with her cross-court attack. The Angels improved to 10-1, but they are second in the standings, just behind the Creamline Cool Smashers due to set ratio. The Chameleons are also down to 1-10, sitting at the bottom of the standings.
Now in the UAAP, the UP Fighting Maroons are hungry for more after going 2-0 to start the season 87 women's volleyball tournament. The Fighting Maroons are coming off a stunning 4-set win over the FEU Lady Tamaraws yesterday to follow up their opening weekend victory over the UE Lady Warriors. After just 2 games, UP has already doubled its win total from last year. The Fighting Maroons finished the season 86 tournament in last place with just 1 victory. Looking ahead, veteran blocker Nina Itang wants the Fighting Maroons to continue showing their renewed spirit in the season.
Kung nakakatuwa po sa puso na start pa lang po, nagsimula po kami manalo. Subukan po namin yung best namin, ibigay po namin yung best namin all throughout the season. Hindi naman po siya naging mahirap sa amin kasi po isa po kaming goal sa buong team namin. Isa po yung goal natin na maibigay po yung best namin sa lahat ng game. And hindi naman po siya naging mahirap sa amin na lalo na sa mga coaches, mga bagong coaches, mga bagong players. Kasi parang gusto din po nilang makatulong po sa team. And yun naman po, na hindi po naging mahirap yung pag-adjust namin from last season. Yun nga po, nasabi niyo po na wala po sila sa player, pero hindi po dapat namin isipin na gano'n. Kailangan bigay pa rin ng lahat, labanan ng puso sa laro, and lahat, walang ititirapan.
A heartwarming show of support from 2 familiar faces for injured Ateneo standout Zel Tsunashima. Former Blue Eagles and now PBL stars Vanny Gandler and Roma May Doromal visited Tsunashima in the hospital after she had surgery on her broken shin. Tsunashima suffered the devastating injury during Ateneo's opening match against Adamson over the weekend. She's already been ruled out for the rest of the season. Yesterday, the Lady Eagles also honored their injured teammates by writing their names on their shoes. Aside from Tsunashima, J-Lo de los Santos suffered a season-ending ACL injury. Ateneo is off to a rough start this season, losing both their games so far. The depleted Lady Eagles will try to get their first win against the surging UP Fighting Maroons in the Battle of Katipunan on Sunday at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. Coming up, Heidelin Diaz announces a big move that will excite kids who want to follow in her footsteps. You'll know what that is when Play-by-Play returns. One News. Tough break for Gilas Pilipinas. They just lost to Chinese Taipei in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers. Final score here, 91-84. This is the Philippines' first loss in the qualifiers after winning their first 4 games. After a tight first half, Chinese Taipei's frenetic pace and hot shooting got the home team back in front by as many as 12 points. In the final period, the Philippine contingent fought back and cut the lead to 2 with about 6 minutes left. Then, with under 3 minutes to play, Gilas got the lead back thanks to Brownlee's 8th three-pointer. Still, Chinese Taipei refused to back down. Gilas will now shift their focus on their upcoming match as they try to bounce back against New Zealand on Sunday.
Okay, let's head to the big screen for the highlight reel. We got some NBA, Gilas Pilipinas. Let's take a look at the highlights right now. Let's start the PBL. Of course, Creamline against Galleries. Good serve there, and then Galleries getting denied, Creamline, and that's the phenom, Eliza Valdez showing some defense. Take a look at Lai. Woo, with a kill block there. And look at Eliza Valdez and her teammates. Of course, loving that play from the former Queen Eagle. This was a crucial one in the first set that gave them set point in the first one to put them up here 24-22 in the first set. Now let's move on. That was part of Creamline's 9-0 run, by the way. It was in the second set, rather, as the Cool Smashers went on to win in straight sets. So they won all 3 straight sets here. Short work for Creamline against Galleries Tower High Risers. Okay, up next. Eto na miss ko. NBA. Matik, kahit dito na ako nakatingin. LaMelo Ball against the 2 superstars barging into King James against Luka. And then look at this, squeezing through, difficult shot, throwing up in the air, hitting glass, asking for a foul. It could have gone either way. Of course, Laker fans asking for a charge, but LaMelo wanting a defensive foul here, blocking foul, at least on LeBron. A lot of contact, no whistle blown by the referees. LaMelo looking at the refs after he finished with 27 points, including the dagger, which you're about to see in just a bit. Hold your horses. Up next, let's go to Old Man James, defying father time again against who could have been his teammate, Mark Williams. The slam, look at Lolo LBJ against Mark Williams. Woo! My golly, look at this. LBJ still has hops at 40, dunking the ball, and look at the crowd. Bronny loving it. Of course, be proud of your pops, Bronny. Look at the Laker bench loving that one. LBJ finished with 26, 7 boards, 11 assists in the loss to Charlotte. And I mentioned yung dagger ni LaMelo. Here it is. LaMelo sizing up. It will be a switch here. Look at the switch. He gets Vanderbilt on the switch, loses Dorian Finney-Smith, goes, drives, middle, and there is that dagger with 14 seconds remaining on the switch. And Vanderbilt, a very good defender, no problem for LaMelo. High up and in for LaMelo Ball. Sealing the deal for Charlotte. The Hornets ended up winning this one in LA, 100-97. Okay, after the NBA, PBL, punta tayo Gilas. Fresh off that loss kanina against Chinese Taipei, St. Dwight stealing and dunking. St. Dwight Ramos, one of 2 bright spots for Gilas, along with Justin Brownlee in this one. Let's take a look at that play again. Dwight stealing the ball and going all the way for the 2-handed flush there, dunking over Xiao Fulan. There it is. Again, Xiao Fulan. Talagang pumupogi si Dwight lalo pag ganyan yung mga dunk-dunk. Unfortunately, as I said, Gilas lost Chinese Taipei 91-84. And as we welcome you back here on the show, fresh from Japan, did you like that play from the Japan B-League player, although a loss, or Lolo LBJ, LaMelo? Okay. What did you enjoy?
I mean, LeBron is defying age, gravity, all that.
Balikan natin ni LeBron.
No, it's okay. Because for as long as there is a Gilas or any national team highlight in your highlights, it will always be Gilas or any national team.
Kahit hindi si St. Dwight?
Basta national team, yun ang favorite.
Okay.
Because we love the Philippines.
Just
we love
clarifying
our
lang.
athletes. We support
Clarifying
them.
lang kung dahil kay St. Dwight kasi pogi eh. Hindi baka lang.
Si Andre.
Welcome back to you, Check.
Before we go, weightlifting is back to the Palarong Pambansa lineup as a demo sport. The country's first Olympic gold medalist, Heidelin Diaz, proudly shared the news on social media. Diaz says she has long hoped for weightlifting to return to the biggest sporting event for student athletes in the country. The weightlifting champ also says that she's working with a technical working group to make the sport a regular event at the Palaro soon. The sport had been part of the Palaro in the past but was scrapped in the 1980s reportedly due to controversies. And after several years of campaigns, weightlifting will make its way back to this year's Palaro, set from May 24th to June 2nd in Lawag, Ilocos Norte. Ooh, empanada. Ooh.
I didn't see that coming. That empanada comment.
Sarap yun.
Oo naman. But of course, at least weightlifting back to the
Yes.
Palarong Pambansa. That's demo sport, yeah.
And from Heidelin.
Yes, oo naman. Kasi alam niya eh, because she's
Yes.
done it. Di ba kung nakakuha
She-
siya ng
that
silver
journey.
dun sa Rio, naka-gold sa
She
Tokyo.
knows that journey.
Yes, oo. So, okay yun. That's really good. To build grassroots tayo of the future Heidelin Diaz's, di ba? And that's all from us tonight. You can catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
Teka lang, saan yung pasalubong?
Gabi!
I'm Andre Felix. Just kidding. I'm happy you're back.
Just
Kahit wala nang pasalubong, okay lang.
Thank you for watching. Good night.
As long as you're back safe.